Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And with the Tempest Jubilee, we also got the Wielder of Magic Beatdown Battle rerun for the free-to-play Dark Ranga. Now, he's not by any means the best free-to-play character in the world, but he is a free-to-play character. This is the first time they've rerun him, so if you don't already have him, it's just a good thing to pick him up. He is meant for an orange team, which we don't have a lot of, so having an orange converter, even if it is limited, is pretty nice for people's boxes in the future. This stage, however, is not overly difficult. We're going to go into EX2, and we're fighting the Golem, who, besides being able to nuke you on turn 6 with a quite large physical attack buff, and then probably just end up killing one person because he does have a follow-up attack, and you're going to be low on HP after that, there's not much to him. He nerfs blues and greens, which we're going to find out throughout this video and the next video that you can definitely get around. And the starting hand is built for 4 oranges and 1 green, 1 blue, which Ranga is meant to convert. There are other units that can do that as well. But since this is such an old beatdown battle, I have what looks to be 3 old videos with other alternate teams that you can reference. So I'm going to link those down in the video description. And we're just going to show off teams that came out after Wielder of Magic. So more recent teams that definitely can do it with a little bit of finagling or such things. But if you need a different alt team with lower end characters, nothing new, nothing from this year, actually, check out the 3 videos down below, and that should give you also some pretty good ideas. Okay, we'll start off with the actual Wielder of Magic meta, using characters that had only come out with or prior to. So we've got Protector Milim. All magic allies get Pierce, changes 3 and 3 to 6 oranges, gives us 40 skill points. She's fine here. We're going to use Goddess of Destiny Rain to give Shinsha a small magic buff. If you want to use Visions of Coleus Violet, you can. She's just a lot more expensive, and she also didn't exist at the time this meta came out. Ranga is the whole point we're doing these beatdown battles, but he converts the Wielder of Magic orbs to orange, like a lot of other free-to-play characters do. He's limited, so he's going to be in slot 2. The Shizu is gimmicky. I think I used her skill once here, I think. She's really not all that great. Shinsha is our primary damage dealer, single target, gives herself attack. Magic allies get an EX alt buff. She gives orange orbs 100% damage and protection gauge. I think 60% protection gauge. She's kind of needed. And then Hinata has the element buff, has the future hand of oranges. She works fine. But this stage, because it's only EX3, is not built for the amount of damage we can output in a couple of turns, so this doesn't take very long, honestly. Let me make sure this is the right clip. Haha, fun story, that was not the right clip. Now we are on the right clip. So here, we start with the 4 oranges. We'll bring Shinsha in. That leaves both the green and blue Wielder of Magic orbs, which Ranga will now convert. And then we'll bring in Hinata, because she's got protection gauge support underneath her. And we'll send 6 oranges, and we'll do a lot of damage to it, because we're getting the extra 6% damage from the Protector, and we've got 2 water characters here, and he's already down a quarter of his HP. And then we get another quite a bit of orange orbs. So we could just use Ranga again to change it, or we could use Milim. Either way really works here. But we are going to use the 100% damage buff from Shinsha for orange orbs. Gives us extra protection gauge. We'll use Shizu to give us some ult, which we honestly don't need, because the 3 oranges, well, 6 oranges total with 3 Shinsha orbs would have gotten her EX ult regardless. And then we'll bring Ranga in for the extra skill points and the Pierce power from his skill. And that gives everybody, it gives oranges a lot of buffs, which is still not enough to fully cycle, but it does make them more powerful. And then we'll send these orbs, and we'll get an EX ult for Shinsha. Not that we need it, because it's going to die. But there you go. I mean, that's how it's supposed to run. If he had lived, next turn we would have used the Hinata buff, the Shinsha buff, and the Rain buff, and he would have really died then. But there we go. There is the meta team clearing its EX3 beatdown. Not very tough. Let's move on to the alternate teams now. Alright, New Year's Blessing, another orange-focused team, came out after Wielder of Magic. It does have a water single-target character in Shinsha, so it's gonna be just fine. We know this team can do butt tons of damage already, so there's not much to it. We're gonna still bring the 2nd anniversary Hinata. If you don't have her, you definitely don't need her by any means. You could put Water Shion in that slot, or literally anybody else to help Shinsha do damage. Tempest Elite Benimaru, Fount of Wisdom Rimuru. It does not matter. But otherwise, we're using Shion, Rimuru, Diablo, Milim, and Shinsha for this run. So starting out, we don't have anyone to convert the first hand, so we're just going to run it and send 3 orbs for Milim and Diablo. That way we leave the 2 Rimurus with the 3rd one incoming, so that next turn we can use Diablo's orb giveaway to Rimuru, who will then convert them all to rainbows. So we actually got an extra Rimuru orb too. So, I mean, whatever, it works. It's still going to be 6-handed Rimuru. We're going to have 79 points, because Shion is the New Age Protector with passive points, skill point gain, instead of on-pawn activation. So now we've got 6 rainbows. Let's go ahead and bring in Shinsha, and she gets her EX ult plus a lot of protection gauge, if not double. Almost double. But I do want to use all the buffs, and 130 points is not enough to use Milim, Shinsha, Diablo's debuff, and Hinata's buff. So we're going to waste a turn here, essentially, and just send these Diablo orbs. You could either convert them or not with Shion, it really doesn't matter. We just need another 30 points from turn 4 Shion, and then we'll have enough to do everything. So, yeah. Yeah, we could do that too. Why not? It's free, so it doesn't hurt our points at all. And then we'll activate Shion, and we'll send 6 oranges now. And we'll have guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. We do quite a bit of damage, even with his physical resistance, and even with his crit resistance. I mean, it's it doesn't really matter all that much when we get to the nuke itself. So he's got physical resistance, guard, and crit resistance. Things that we are all kind of doing here. It doesn't matter. So now we've got 160, which means that we can use Diablo's buff, Milim's buff, and then swap one of them out for Hinata in the back. So debuff, okay, cool. And then we'll bring Hinata in for Diablo. We don't need his ult. We're going to do plenty of damage here. And now buff, buff, and debuff, technically. And then we'll use Shion. Guaranteed crit, guaranteed synergy. And Shinsha will take care of business. So if you have New Year's, it's going to work real well. And again, you don't need the Hinata. If you want to use someone else, it's perfectly fine. And Shinsha does 384. And he has like 360-something HP. So we're just fine there as well. But let's move on to that's our last orange team, realistically. So let's move on to something else that's quite strong. Oh my god, look, Exalted Champions! Who would have thought such things? Alright, well, we know this team is very strong in burst scenarios. Even without type advantage, we're going to be fine. We are running an alternate unit here. So instead of bringing the Light Rimuru or the Masked Hero, we brought Violet, and we brought Fire Slime Rimuru. Why? Because I wanted to, and I'd never use him. But he can convert the entire turn 1 hand with his 2 skills. If you don't have Rimuru, you could very easily use the old Light Hinata, who can also do a special convert for oranges, or you just don't worry about it and just run a 4-hand or something like that. Either way, it works out. So, turn 1, we will use both of the Fire Slime skills, because they're just 2 single unit converts, or single orb converts. I don't care about the secondary effect, honestly. They're not even leveled up all the way. And then we'll bring Milim in. A 6-hand of orange looks real nice for our ult gauge. Not so much our protection gauge, but it does get us a use of Velzard, at least, if you are running the big 3. Barely. Actually, barely enough. But hey, it is what it is. And that's all we need, because now we have Guy, we have Veldora, and we have a lot of buffs. So now, I mean, honestly, we don't need to use the ult rush at all, because we'd still be able to kill regardless off of the green buffed 6-hand, but we're gonna do it anyways, because why not? So there's the ult rush. We have now almost 2 ult gauges before even sending any orbs. It's very nice. The greens are nerfed. they are still buffed by Veldora, so I think they're losing 10% or something like that because they're debuffed by 80. It doesn't matter. We didn't need that much gauge. We're capped out on points. We've got an EX alt. We've got a Velzard usage. And we have enough points to use everything. So here, we'll bring Violet in. And we have enough to use her magic buff, Guy's buff, and Millam's buff. And I think with like 5 points left over or something. 10 points left over. There we go. And then we'll use Velzard, give us the all-element buff and the Drago effect. And then Millam will nuke, as she always does. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't get to 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. 749,000 damage. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna be just fine with the Exalted Champions team, even without Violet. And the final team for the video is going to be the 2nd anniversary Visions of Coleus team. The team that came immediately after Wielder of Magic. And it is a blue team. They do have blue nerfed orbs. However, we have the cheat code that is rainbow orbs from RERUN. So, honestly, Coleus, you could replace her. I just brought her because I have the full meta saved in my troops. But we're going to work just fine. We have 3 ladies who are all capable of doing very, very good single target damage. So you can take your pick on who you want to nuke with. Whoever ends up having the most rainbow orbs is the way you're going to go. So turn 1, we're just going to swap Coleus and RERUN out. They're not... Well, Coleus isn't super important. RERUN, it's important for him to be in the back line to make use of his orb changing. And we're just going to send the 4 oranges and pray that we can get a decent hand on turn 2 where we could convert with something. Anything. And that's certainly a hand right there. I think we just burn the violet orbs, yeah. Well, yeah, let's send it correctly this time with the non-nerfed orange at the end. And now, on turn 3, let's see what we get. Much better hand. So now we have enough points to use the Violet Convert and the Rainbow skill. So it looks like we're going to nuke with Blanc because she's going to have the most Rainbow orbs. I don't know if she's going to get an EX alt off of this, though. But it'll be pretty close. And then we'll also put a stack of the attack buff from Lumi on. And we'll swap RERUN out again. But this will give us guaranteed synergy. The bosses didn't know what synergy was at the time, so they have no resistance against it. It's very fun. And yeah, 1, 2. There we go. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Close to an EX alt. Not quite there, but almost there. But we only have 158 points, so not enough to do what I would like here. So we can't use the... we can't use 2 80-point buffs because we don't have 160, unless we get 2 points randomly. No, we don't. We have 158. So we're going to have to burn another turn out, just because I need extra points, and we'll probably just send the... Okay, we're just sending everything here. Alright, alt swap away. I guess it does work because we have the Cleash hand. And this will give us quite a few points now. Yeah, 233. This means we can use a number of buffs. But the weakness strike from Blanc doesn't matter. We're not type advantage. The EX alt damage doesn't really matter because we don't have an EX alt. We do care about the magic buff from Violet. And we do care about the 100% alt buff from Jean. So that's probably what we're going to end up using, and maybe some other combination. We might use a space resistance down for funsies, just because we have points for it. Yeah. Why not? It's just that the Blanc buff is not really going to do that much. Yes, we have guaranteed synergy. Synergy resistance down is nice, but I think we're going to get more value out of the other skills, minus the 55-point skill from Jean. But we're going to hit with her first. Oh, I totally thought we were going to nuke with Blanc. Oh well. Either way, it would have died. Regardless, it would have died. So there we go. There's 3 teams and the actual meta clearing EX3 for the RERUN Wielder of Magic Beatdown battle. We'll be back tomorrow with 4 more teams that can do it. But let me know what you guys think. That's it for me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.